What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 18 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Skulltaker Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Ulth 1 continues to fall and is just about done with Lothern probably being the sort of last holdout, last bastion of the High Elves. The outer part of the donut has been pretty much conquered or otherwise razed and or sacked. We've also declared war upon the vampire coast of the Galleon's graveyard, the Dread Fleet, and are looking towards getting our new armies up and running. We got, I think, 2-3 turns until the Beastmen army is ready, and they are converging. We are starting our Malevolent Ranger army up north, wherein entire Heldenmouth will be recruiting those Marauder horses to start, and then the Skull Cannons and all that sort of stuff after. Our ball's moving towards the Maggot host, and I do believe we got one turn until Gerald Black Raider and his frenzied Forsaken arrive in Cathay. So, all our armies are doing stuff. Anyway, let's see what we got to do in this particular turn. And now the Crimson Beasts, you're kind of stuck where you are, so just sit there until we're ready to teleport down there, let's say. Slaughter Host, you guys, alright, you guys can start moving all the way out here, but we should be in range of Kairos this turn, so let's move closer. How close do we really want to be to the Fortress of Dawn? You know what, if we besiege it, it shouldn't matter. Unless Kairos sallies out. Well, that's going to be an interesting question. Alright, you know what, go into regular stance and then go here. We will move... Let's just take a look at these two armies. So you have 3 Blood Shrines, you have a Blood Crusher unit. Alright, so I think we'll have you attack. So you're gonna move towards the Fortress of Dawn like so. If I could just, there we go. Gotta make sure we can actually land and besiege it. Ooh, we got 70 Champions Essence as well. Speaking of Champions Essence, I did decide that we'll want to get the, do you want to start building stuff? I think I'll start building stuff. Depends on if they sally or if Kairos decides to leave the blockade or not. I guess what we'll do is we'll go for Johann the Demon Hunter in order to try to get the army fully replenished thing, rather than the Blood Host thing. And granted, we could do this right now, but I think this is the more important, especially as we're gonna have to start moving towards the campaign. Unfortunately, interest is dropping, and, well, the engagement has dropped off a cliff, so we do have to start being a little bit more objective in terms of, well, you know, reaching campaign objectives. Those ones that we made for ourselves at any rate, as in, we got the long victory on turn like 24 or something silly, and then we've just been sort of meandering around. But we still have to collect the head of Kugeth, who I assume is still alive. Yeah, there's still Nurgle corruption over there, so we have to collect the head of Kugeth, and if Skarbrand does not decide to confederate, maybe we'll take his skull as well, because we just won't have time to use him anyway, so we'll just have to deal with everybody else. Anyway, let's see who else needs to move. Valnir Dal, you are headed up northward. You've defeated the Sisters of Twilight or the Heralds of Ariel, and you need to, I guess, destroy these things, so let's get you here. Who are you again? Oh, you're the other cultist. Yeah, move up there, that's fine. We will then move... I mean, I guess we can move these guys up here. We don't really need to help Valnir Dal with what's going on here, so let's go here, up north. We could raid as well. Oh, actually, no, we can't. Can't move far enough to raid. Alright, fine, just move up as close as you can up here, then. Like so, and we'll see what we have to deal with. Just gotta be careful about getting ambushed suddenly by Lethan Nar. Just depends on whether he decides to declare war on us or not. Ooh. We do have a cultist pen with that furs here, which will be helpful since we really need that missile resistance on so many units. Gerald Black Raider, 1 turn away. Terror Masters, you are still besieging Tor Anlec and you're still building stuff, so you're good as you are. Oh. Okay, they still have the option to sally out next turn, so we'll give them the chance before attempting to storm the walls. Scarlet Feasters, you're supposed to head to the Altar of Facades, so I guess you're just going to go like this. Let's see if they got an army here. They do. Whoa, stop. Okay, well, you're stuck in march stance now, which is not so great. Well, you're just gonna have to deal with it then. If you get attacked, you'll get attacked. We'll see if Abyssa comes back by the time you're ready, and if you have to win in march stance, well, that'll be up to you. Krulast, whatever. And now we were saving the Gentleman Jenkins attack so that we could re-up Skulltaker's movement range. He could go for Karen Fell. And I guess since we sacked Shrine of Loic and Elisale, we may want to occupy the place, since we won't have any other further movement this turn, I imagine. Oh, actually, wait. We do have the guy in Vale. Oh, right. I was going to fast attack. Okay, you know what? We're going to have to speed through this real quick. I forgot about this. I was going to do this attack between the episodes, but I don't want these blood hosts to die right now, because while we don't care about the blood hosts themselves, we do care about the locations that they're in, as in, if it takes a long time to get there, it's, well, it's worth preserving the turns by preserving the blood hosts themselves. At least until we get that thing that gives us more blood hosts. Although, once again, that'll be located on top of Skulltaker, which means we'll still have to preserve those blood hosts that are moving around with the other armies. But the thing is, the other armies are going to win the day, in the sense that once we have sufficient armies, we won't be needing to rely on the blood hosts as much. Anyway, just like last time, we will bring down the wall cannon towers. They're already breached, aren't they? Alright, well, that's swell. That means you guys can get ready to approach. And you guys can loop around just like last time. You guys can move in, and oh, you know, we'll still probably want to wait until the second army arrives. Alright, we'll still do it at max speed though, so you attack this, and max speed it up. Alrighty, and I forgot about the Furies. They can knock down some towers. This tower should go in one more volley. Okay, beautiful. Switch to the next tower. And hey, don't you waste your shots on the units up there. You don't have enough. They probably won't be able to knock this tower down. Especially if they miss. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. They just missed 3 shots in a row. How do you miss a tower? Oh, skull cannons, your accuracy. Why it's so bad. Yeah, they won't have enough, but it doesn't really matter. All right, let's go here. You. All right, trying to do this fast as I can here, and we'll still watch some of the fighting. Let's get you guys. You guys are out of ammunition now, so let's get you all together. Group 1. And let's get you right to there. Loop around, go through the gate. You guys can be Group 2. You guys can be Group 3. And you guys can be Group 4. All right, you guys go here. Group 1, go. And Group 2. Move it on up. All right, slow it back down. You guys move on up and go hit that piercing tower. You guys just work your way through it. Huh. The heck are they doing? All right, well, move on in regardless. Probably won't matter too much. It'll probably take at least a few hits, but all good. Let's do something like, okay, you know what? You guys, front row, front rank, whatever. Go here. And then the rest of you go here. Like so. Alright. And Furies are ready. Huh, I thought I ordered you to... Oh, I guess I must have only ordered 1. Alright, that's fine. Not a big deal. Let's just make sure that our unit stones separate themselves. And, ooh, go into... not March stance. Go into... Who's in range attacks still? Ah, the skull cannons. Okay, go into melee, and make sure to target the Phoenix Guard, because they're actually a major threat here. You guys go here. Doggos. Alright. Oh, this gate is also breached? Ha, I probably could have attacked from several sides. I didn't realize this one was breached too, but that's fine, that's fine. Make sure to break down that barricade real quick. Or, don't even bother. Just loop around. Ah, there's another barricade there. I guess we could grab this. Might be faster, just break the barricade. Anyway. Let's watch this for a little bit. The battle itself is going to take care of itself by and large. We do have a tower attacking us, and I see the Phoenix Guard is still fighting. Wait 1 second. I need at least a few units to actually go through the... No. Good. You're all climbing. You are not climbing. Get those ladders out of your... to wherever it is you keep them. And... go here. Nope. Damn you, pathing. There really should be a toggle where it just allows you to toggle off their movement like that. How's that tower looking? Wow, I guess they're taking a long time to bring this tower down. Did towers get buffed? I remember them being really tough to bring down an SFO compared to, you know, vanilla, but a little bit surprising. All right. Another unit of Phoenix Guard will have you attack here. Doggos, how you doing? Any enemy moving to block you up? Doesn't look like it. Let's just go for that barricade / platform. And a little bit of damage on our Soul Grinder, but it probably won't matter all that much. We have you guys climbing up. Let's have you actually attack units. And let's get more units of Bloodletters through. Okay, why are you going around? You're right in front of the gate, nobody's blocking it, dude. What the heck? Why are you like this? Oh, okay, fine. What about you? Would you do it? Okay, I give up. Just ignore it. I don't know. Either way, the battle's nearly over. Just gotta get the units to attack. The tower's still not down, eh? Okay. Back away. I would like you to surround it and attack it from multiple sides if possible. I think maybe the units are blocking each other, which is what's causing the slowness. Okay, and these guys still refuse to go through the gate. Even though it's not... Okay, whatever. Whatever, all the units down here are pretty much dead anyway. Let's get more of the Bloodletters off of those walls, and there we go. Good, good. Alright, only took a couple minutes. And this way, we'll be able to auto-resolve the next 2 or 3 battles, because, let's face it, if we didn't auto-resolve this one, the next couple of minor settlements wouldn't have been able to be attacked with auto-resolves, and then we would have had to fight those, and yeah. Better to do 1 than 2, you know what I mean? And especially considering they had a lot of range units and Phoenix Guard, we definitely would have lost a lot of units doing this. And I usually do this between the episodes, I'm just like not gonna count the extra 3 minutes that took as a part of the length of the episode, not that that'll matter over much. Alrighty, next up we will, I guess, occupy the place. It does still have that beast thing, the cultist outpost, though we don't need the war arena in theory. I mean, I guess we could keep it to grow until we're tier 3 and then delete it. Fine, why not? Alright, that works. And then the Crimson Beast, you're going to move to Tor Anlec, which we will also have to occupy because it has iron. So we won't be sacking that. Got another Khorne mutant, and we'll deal with the Khorne mutants later. Alright, now, I believe... What is this? Oh, Fator Morspig? Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. So I guess the only thing that, or the only 2 things that we gotta do is this. First of all, you're gonna quickly auto-resolve Gentleman Jenkins here. Declare war. Yes, huh? Allies have, oh, no, that's the bug, right? They're not actually canceling their agreements, I think. Wait, I gotta, damn it. Okay, he's gonna run. I just wanna check. I think it was... Yeah, so they're still our vassals. It doesn't do anything, it's just for some reason they don't want to declare war against the rogue armies. I remember that happening before. It did freak me out for a second, though. I was a bit speechless. This is a waste of our time. It's just basic Imperial forces. I think Gentleman Jenkins is the weakest of the... Oh, wow, why do you hate that one Gorby's chariot? Gentleman Jenkins is the weakest of the rogue armies, but he will allow Skulltaker to move again. Luckstone for Krellis? No. Keep the Drill Master, I guess, but don't bother the Luckstone. And then... Oh, you're gonna suffer attrition if you do this. Go here, and then cross here so that you don't suffer attrition. Alright. And then obviously we'll transfer these to half-tier Nightbane, and then all will be great. And none of you can move otherwise. Skulltaker will have recovered his movement range. And Cairn Thel is next on the menu. Cairn Thel, do we occupy you? You do have dies, I guess Elisele does as well. We could use it to recover, so I think yes. Auto-resolve, and yes, even more damage. And I just realized I probably shouldn't have done that, but whatever. Ooh, 10,000 skulls, though. We're actually pretty okay in terms of money, at least for now, and I think that I more highly value Skulltaker recovering his HP, so we'll do that. His army is still heavily damaged after all, and we wouldn't have been able to move to Lothern anyway. There's a solid likelihood that these 2 armies attack us next turn, though. But if they do, they do. I think Skulltaker can take it, even with the severe damage that his army has suffered at this point. I don't believe there's any buildings to build. Actually, I lied. Titan Peaks can be ignored. Fateweaver's Crevasse, however, should be upgraded immediately. Huh, I just missed that one? Okay, apparently I just missed that one. Fair enough. Skip, unassigned skill points, building upgrades. No, that's the Titan Peak's cult upgrade. We are waiting on this to teleport Skulltaker out here, though we're gonna have to send the Skulltists. Oh, I should have called them Skulltists. I misspoke, and that's a much better name than Cultists. If I wasn't too lazy, I'd rename them. Well, if we get any more new ones, I'll call them Skulltists. Good job, Ruinous. Sometimes not speaking correctly works out in your favor. Anyway, let's see if these guys decide to attack Skulltaker. Ooh, I guess it doesn't matter yet because Kairos will attack these two. All right. Pyrrhic victory, Kairos himself, he's also got a cold Hellbrass who we can't kill, essentially. We have to destroy the rest of the army. And the blue scribes. Maybe we can chase after them with Chaos Furies, but the enemy has so many Screamers that, actually should be an interesting fight. Let's see if we can pull it off. Go. Alrighty, here we go. I guess you can't hear the speech from up on top of that cliff, but oh well. Here we go. Let's see what we can do. Kairos Big Bird is back for more, and he's got a pretty good army in tow, and of course we don't have Skulltaker to deal with him or his army this time around. Thus, we're going to have to set up and actually think about how we fight this. So, over in this corner, we got the Chaos Furies just by themselves sort of hanging around, and we got 3 of our Fleshhounds running around in the back line as well. The idea here is just to try to draw as many of the enemy army towards them as possible, because the rest of our army is currently hidden. Out here, all the way as far as they can get away from Kairos are the Blood Shrines, because the Blood Shrines can't hide in the forests, and hidden in the forests are our Exalted Bloodletters, as well as the Lord, who apparently one of the Centaurs is heading out towards. We've also got 2 more hidden Fleshhounds over here, and basically units peppered all over the map. We need to draw out the time it takes for the reinforcements to get onto the field for as long as possible, so that we can then fight with both armies, rather than allowing Kairos to destroy just the one, as we have done to the enemy so many times before. The battle will start as a unit of Centaurs of Tzeentch will run down at least a few of the Bloodletters. Looks like doing about 25% damage on the charge and then attempting to back away. I'm gonna have to try to cut down as many as possible, and we're even going to send the rest of the units out to start the battle. Fortunately, our reinforcements have arrived, and they will be heading towards the biggest blob of enemies. Kairos will pop off a big old vortex right in the middle of one of our units of Exalted Bloodletters, but it does look like it'll clip the Centaurs, who, interestingly, don't have any spell resistance, whereas our Bloodletters, these may not be under Skulltaker, but they still got 45 solid spell resistance. Kairos is, of course, giving chase to the Blood Shrines and wants to get rid of those, so we're going to run away, while the fast movers, the Blood Crushers, a few of those units of Fleshhounds, and even some Bloodletters in tow, will rush towards enemy blue or pink horrors that they can find, isolate, and destroy. And damn, that's a big charge. For the charge basically completely destroys the unit blue horrors, and I'm sure the pink horrors will follow suit shortly, especially as the Fleshhounds have moved on in. Our other army has arrived as well. We're going to let the fastest moving units charge forth and attempt to run down those flame-spewing flamers of Tzeentch, while our 2 Furies here have found and surrounded the blue scribes. Luckily for us, the blue scribes are a very fragile unit, and the Furies do fairly decent damage fairly quickly. Fragile, of course, themselves, but fragile on fragile, the higher damaging unit is gonna win. Can't be letting the blue scribes cast, unfortunately, since Kairos probably wasted all his mana casting. It looks like the blue scribes are not going to survive the onslaught of Furies, and will melt away, or flee through their portal. There we go. I just want to see that animation, because last time, for whatever reason, it was missing. Anyway, the rest of our army is in the fight with the enemy main sort of stack, while Kairos is still fighting with the remnants of the units of Centaurs that he brought. Interesting that he went forward with Centaurs, and oh wow, he got knocked back by one of the Blood Shrines charging him. I didn't think it had enough mass to knock him back. Kind of neat, though. I guess he is kind of withered and all. So it does kind of make sense. He's going to keep casting spells, but probably should have left that to the blue scribes. They might have been able to cast something a little bit more devastating. Though once again we do have all those spell resistances. The numbers of Centaurs are dwindling, and over in the background we have isolated and destroyed pretty much all the enemy range units. Out here the fight still continues, but the Bloodletters and these Blood Crushers have pressed the units of Spears and Pink Horrors and Centaurs into a single blob, and will over time surround and destroy them. Of course, we'll lose a few units doing this, but not so many that it'll matter over much. The bounce power shifts to about 90% in our favor. Cold Hellbrass still slowly sort of running around, and a charge from those blood shrines. Love it. Running around, but he's very slow, and we are ignoring him as we ignored, by and large, Kairos. And it looks like that pays off as the rest of his army is destroyed or is routing or shattered, and so Kairos and Cold will give up as well. Kairos, of course, being demonic and all, will fight to the end until he's banished. But a couple more hits will see him go down. Alright, that was way off cue. Alright, he's still got 1,000 or something HP. I was waiting for it. And down he goes. One last charge through the Bloodletters and the Blood Shrine. Ah, the Blood Shrine sort of smashed through Kairos like the Kool-Aid Man. Very nice, very nice. And there we go. Alright, his army is destroyed. We did suffer a fair bit of damage on some of our units, especially our fast movers, as they had to engage units like the Centaurs, which obviously, as we saw when they charged the Bloodletters, are liable to dish out plenty of damage. But nonetheless, this worked out reasonably well, and it was a really fun fight too. Alright, now that weird plate, ward save 14, we'll take it. I think we get 10% ward save out of an Armor of Destiny, unless I'm mistaken, or is it 5% ward and 5% physical? Well, either way, 14% ward save, very, very solid. In combination with the Talisman of Preservation, that's a 28% ward save if we wanna pump somebody's numbers. We did lose one of our units of Flesh Hounds, and did certainly have to work for the victory, but it was a very nice fight. Sorry, Kairos. We're going to... I guess we're going to heal to the max, because we want to be able to continue using these two Blood Hosts as they take the rest of Kairos' territory. That should be the last of his armies, so it shouldn't be all that concerning. Ikit wants a non-aggression pact? No. That's not gonna be. Anybody else want to attack us? Alright, where's Etain? Are they really not going to attack Skulltaker with like a third of his army with 2 stacks nearby? Looks like Gilgallion wants to attack as well. Well, that's nice, and... can you even win those Terramasters? Well, the Terramasters do have 4 Blood Crushers, which is fairly significant. But these guys do have a lot of Author and Seaguard. Should be a pretty fun fight. Go again. I can faintly hear this speech, but maybe this guy's not giving it. Hopefully No, I can hear the music and stuff, and I hear the birds in the trees, so I assume that the sound is fine. Anyway, here we go. We are pretty horrifically outnumbered here. Not even a full stack to our name, and the enemy has just so many range units. We have no hope of reinforcements arriving, so the way that we fight this battle is going to have to be very particular. We're obviously going to have to take advantage of the trees here, so we're going to draw the enemy army forward as much as possible so that the Bloodletters, at least to some degree, are protected from the enemy range fire. The enemy does seem to have separated its army in terms of looking for our own army, which makes sense considering all of our army was hidden in the trees, with the exception, I believe, of the... Actually, no, everybody was hidden, right? Well, with the exception of the Furies, obviously, but yeah. Anyway, charging on in, and gonna wade into the ranks of Spears and Archers. at least before the other 3/4 of the enemy army arrives. Some of the Skull Crushers, Blood Crushers rather, still no Skull Crushers as yet, will charge on in to obliterate a unit of spears rather quickly, and especially with the help of the Flesh Hounds from behind, we will be able to leave and go on to the next unit. Very much key to this victory is going to be being able to jump from unit to unit to unit. Unfortunately, we have to send one of our units of Bloodletters to sort of block as many of the enemy units as possible, and it quickly gets obliterated by range fire from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range units at once, if I didn't miss any. And we can't be letting that happen. But their sacrifice will hopefully not be in vain, as it allows us to destroy sort of this left flank of the enemy army completely. The Exalted Bloodletters, especially with the Blood Crushers hitting the enemy spears in the back, do rip through those enemy spears rather quickly, even with an Eagle helping them out. There are a few units of Rangers in here as well, but the Rangers similarly had a pretty bad time against the Bloodletters, though it does look like the enemy is starting to overrun them in terms of melee. Time for the other range, or the other fast movers, to work into the enemy range units. There we go, some very nice charges. We just had to wait until as many of the enemy spears were committed as possible so that they weren't chasing around our units of Blood Crushers and our Flesh Hounds. They're already going to have a rather tough time, I imagine, with all the anti-large spears available to the Lothern Sea Guard anyway, and especially the Flesh Hounds. Gonna do our best to try to keep the Flesh Hounds in attacking the enemy archers, whether it be the light armor or the heavy arrowheads ones, and ignore the Lothern Sea Guard, but we won't be able to do it everywhere. Alright, however, this does distract most of those range units, and similarly over here a couple more units of Blood Crushers are distracting more range units. And as long as they're not firing, I do expect our Bloodletters to reap a pretty fearsome tally of kills among the enemy spearmen. Alright, well, it's going to take a long time to deal with those, because those are Lothern Sea Guard, not just archers. It looks like one of our units of Bloodletters was suffering quite a bit of damage, and we did pop that Cannot Die ability on them for a little while, though of course it only lasts, I'm going to say 13 seconds, I don't remember. It doesn't last very long. And the enemy prince is still in the middle of that fight, leading his forces, and our Herald of Khorne has joined him there as well. The bounce power has shifted to our favor, however, at about 55-45%. We have managed to catch one of the enemy eagles and surrounded with a unit of Exalted Bloodletters out here, so this eagle is probably done. And those units of our Flesh Hounds that have suffered sufficient damage, which actually by the looks of it they're all pretty heavily damaged, even the Blood Crushers are all pretty heavily damaged. They're going to try their best to chase the enemy down while we back off and cycle charge as much as we can. Once again, we can't do it for too long, as we don't want all those massive piles of enemy range units to actually be firing. But these units, the ones that are in the forest here, are still in relatively good shape, so we'll probably switch them out and have them charge in. The numbers of spears are dwindling, even as the numbers of range units are still fairly high. But once the enemy has no more spears to protect them, it's going to get a lot worse. And the balance of power does continue to climb in our favor, up to about 60% now. Enemy Lord is still in the midst of the fight, but the Herald of Khorne has sighted him and begun swinging away. And with the armor piercing on those Exalted Bloodletters, I do imagine that the Herald should be able to bring Gilgallion down. Not alone, perhaps, but nonetheless, he's not Skulltaker. We're not expecting him to kill all the enemy lords alone. Alright, last of the spears just holding on. Balance of power shifts to 65% in our favor, inching forward with every minute or so that elapses. Our Blood Crushers will move out of the forests now and switch with the other Blood Crushers, which will head into the forest to chase enemies down and rear charge, while these guys distract the big blobs of range. There we go, very nice. Charge right on in. Still a unit of spears was protecting these guys, and that eagle, which has been really annoying. 6 kills on it, and I believe all 6 of those are Blood Crushers as well. Good job to the eagle, but we really didn't have anything here that was able to surround it, and these guys had to keep moving, had to keep charging, had to keep preventing all those range units from firing, so it wasn't eagle time. Alright, but it looks like that hardly matters, as with that the enemy lord will shatter and the rest of his army will follow suit. No more range units, no more melee units, and just the dregs of the enemies to chase down. We suffered a lot of damage on all of our fast movers to deal with that, but they were able to sort of bounce between the units as we planned and allowed our very, very limited numbers of melee or bloodletters to hack through the way of the enemy, or hack through the ranks of the enemy melee, and carry the day. Lovely blood host fights this episode. Alrighty, there we go. A really, really fun fight, and once again, I just gotta say, I really love the blood hosts because of the fact that they keep offering us these fights, essentially, as little armies sort of all over the place where we don't care nearly as much about the losses of whether it be the units or the armies themselves, and gives us the option of putting them into dangerous situations and all that. It's really fun. Not that I don't do that normally as well, but it also allows us to play around with units like these massive numbers of blood crushers and that we still don't have access to because we're only on turn 40, whatever it is. But anyway, we're gonna heal up because, well, we wanna. And what is this? Okay, well, that one we're not even trying. I guess these guys must have gone through one of the gates in order to attack this place. Kind of an interesting choice. I'll probably hunt them down right after. Drakenhof Conclave destroyed. Wow, Scarby, you're doing work out there, buddy. You're certainly doing work. And, ooh, wait, ally mission successful, ally mission successful. There's that weird plate. Spell resistance 15% for the Scarlet Hunters. Alright, Scarlet Hunters are getting lots of buffs. Seafarer, settlement besieged Carenthel. Oh! You little coward, Tyrion. He besieged us rather than attacking us directly, but he should have done it with 3 armies rather than 2, and certainly this prevented us from healing, which is the exact thing we wanted, which was my mistake. I should have sat outside of the settlement, but I guess we're gonna have to fight these 2 stacks, including Tyrion, with an even more severely damaged army. And that said, he's got 87 essence between these 2, and that just gets us closer to the essence needed to be able to heal per battle, and that's going to be a little bit annoying. Settlement sacked, White Peak, Tyrannog, journey complete. Gerald Black Raider has arrived to raid Cathay. And, oh, we're already at war with these guys, so you can start here, and we'll probably land at Fuchao right afterwards. Pick up that port, not that it gives us all that much, but just because of the principle of the thing. Oh, huh. Hello. Okay, or maybe we attack these guys if they're still there. Admiral Canovale. An easy black arc kill with 24 essence, though it'll have to be next turn, and probably a solid debut for Gerald Black Raider, who still seems to have gained XP while traveling, at least I think so. Which is good, because we do need to give him more points into Spawn of Khorne and Blood Beasts. So that's this. Harbingers of Death will also go for Kill for Khorne, will then go for... no, Overwhelming Stampede, no, Forged in Blood, no, wait, did I miss the Blood Beast? Oh, they're right here. Oh, and the Chosen are right here. Rush to Slaughter, yes. Rush to Slaughter, and then Khorne's Chosen for the Forsaken. They're not rank 7 yet, but they're, well, they'll level up quickly, I'm sure. They'll either die or they'll level up quickly. They only have 2 options. And we do have a couple of Wrathmongers in here who get points out of Blood-soaked champions. I guess the question is that... Ooh, Mentor. Is that better than buffing you personally? Probably. I'm gonna say yes. There's only 2 of them, but there's still going to be linchpins in this army, so let's make sure that they get their buffs. Anyway, with that, folks, we're definitely out of time. Those were some fairly decently long battles. Next episode, debut of the Frenzied, Forsaken and such army out in Cathay. We will probably also finish up with Ulthuan next time, as assuming that we could take on Tyrion and these armies, and take out Lothern. There's pretty much nothing left here, and Skulltaker is 1 turn away from teleporting, which is perfect. Plus, our other cultists are approaching various places where we will begin rituals of putting our army there. I forgot what the ritual name was. Oh, actually, that reminds me. Our cult magus should be ready. I don't remember what his name was, or what he's... Super magus, super mage, super cultist. Super Skulltist. Wolfric Hellstead. Alright, so... Alright, so you have no skills, so yeah, you're gonna be that type of guy that needs to set up a cult somewhere. If anybody knows what exactly these guys do, please let me know. Ooh. You know what? Go here for a second. If next turn we have Vision, I would like to have Vision of Vlad here. Might even want to pop the Ritual of Summoning here. Hunt down Vlad, grab that Nemesis crown. Since we couldn't have the Sword of Cain, we could at least have the big old crown. It's not like we care about the friendly relationships with most factions. Anyway, as I said, calling it here, lots more to do as we continue. Ulthuan will be destroyed. Looks like the Wood Elves will be as well, and we'll start attacking... We'll probably attack Silostra as well. And yeah, she's friendly, but hey, I enjoy fighting all of these factions. Fight everybody. It's Khorne after all. Stay tuned for more. All glory to the algorithm. Likes and comments below as it will determine how long this campaign continues to run for. And thanks for watching.